Today is March 29th, 2021. This is the Kubernetes CSI implementation meeting. Let's go down our usual agenda first with release statuses, starting with 119. Jing is following up with the test Kate's infra folks to figure out how we can promote these staging buckets to the release buckets. So I think we'll see if they are able to help us this week on that. Moving on to 121. First up, we have Csi Migration. Are there any other changes we're waiting for in the sidecars for this release?
Let's see. I don't really think so. There's only this one issue, but I don't know. We haven't had any progress on this, so I'll maybe ask to follow up on this.
Okay.
This
this race condition issue is the only thing remaining.
Yeah, there are like
Okay.
2 PRs. One of them is already merged, but there's another one. Like we have some concern about the backward compatibilities, and also like this might change some existing behavior. So not really sure if we should make this in, but
okay.
I can follow up. Yeah.
I think it sounds like for now, maybe let's not track it for this release. We can track it as a potential bug fix for a future release, but it's not, since this is a bit of a corner case, maybe we don't have to try to make it into this release cycle.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. So I'm gonna mark Csi Migration Complete for now, since we have everything that we need.
We have like the Azure label topology label updates is still in progress. I'm not sure what's going on with the Azure CI. Like it seems.
Yeah,
from what I
it's
find,
mostly
there's
broken.
funding. Yeah, they're still fixing that, so it's kind of like blocked. But yeah,
I think that's fine because it's not gonna make the 121 release cycle anyway. So we'll have to get it into 122 and potentially backport it to a patch release.
Okay, gotcha.
Cool, thank you. Next is volume snapshots.
I think Grant's ETU test didn't make it, so I think we're waiting for the whenever they opened up to allow tests to be merged again. So so normally that is normally when? That's after they.
I think that's after 121 is released.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing else. I think he's still working on the patch change.
Okay. And then on the sidecars, is that the main change remaining that we're waiting for, this patch update?
Yeah. I need to actually should ping him and see how he's doing.
Okay, sounds good. Do you know if that's going to require new RBACs?
I'll have to check. That's a good question. Patch.
Okay.
We may, yeah. So I don't know if we already have patch in some other places. So I'll have to see. Would that be a problem?
Okay.
If it requires new patch? That depends on whether we can backport. Is that the?
No. I guess the main thing is the adding the new if we have to add new RBACs, that means we need to bump another major version.
Does that
so we'll just have to keep that in mind.
Major version now? Is
yes.
That even RBAC? Do we okay? Is that in that doc? I didn't remember this. Even like RBAC is a major version.
Yes.
We are bumping major version maybe too often.
Yes, that's my concern. So let's double check on this.
I don't know that just changing the RBAC should bump a major version. I actually don't know why that. At least that was not required in the past. We have changed the RBAC version many times in the past. I don't even know that's
I mean the test
sidecars.
The test that we do is, can someone update the image version of the container and still function? That's
I think we definitely talk about this. I don't think we follow that in.
We do.
For other sidecars,
for the other sidecars, we have also bumped.
Really? Okay, I think we need to really write down all of those details, and then, but that would really mean the major version will be bumped very, very often.
Yeah.
And then we have the problem of the of this recent issue.
Yes.
That issue more often. So okay, then.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to wait for that. Actually, we don't wait for that. We'll see.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Thank you for the update. Next is generic ephemeral volumes.
I think the website actually got merged, but I would need to double check. I think it's done.
Yeah, it looks merged.
Yeah, okay. So that is done. For the cap, I just need to ping the maintainers. I think it's up to date now. The remaining to do was to document the in-flight changes to the metrics, but the PR itself also should be fine. I just need to ping my cap reviewer. And I don't see that as a blocker. It's just really getting regular maintenance on the cap.
Sounds good. So I guess from a 121 perspective, this is done. Is that correct?
I think so. Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Great. All right, and then we have storage capacity.
The external provisioner PRs are getting closer. One is actually, the metric one is ready for approval. I think, Michelle, you wanted to, or you it's currently assigned to you for approval. So
okay.
And then the next one, ownership, I think that also looks good to me. I need to double check whether it still has that or whether I had to rebase.
I think the max volume size one has the LTTM, and the other one I still need to review.
Okay. So we have two that are currently pending approval.
Okay, sounds good. I will take a look at that. Cool. Thank you. Next we have volume populators. Span on the line. We'll skip this. And Hamont's not here either, so we'll skip over expansion. And then we have volume health.
Yeah, so the doc PR is ready. Can you review it? I added that in the doc, in the agenda doc.
Yep, sounds good to me. Awesome.
The deadline is 31st, right? So try to get that merged.
Sounds good. All right, thank you very much. I think that's all we have on the release tracking. So going down to our agenda, we have volume health. We'll take a look at that. And then next up, we have Chris's discussion on major version support. Do we have enough quorum here to discuss this? I think there's been some discussion on the there's been some discussion on the PR, but
I think you probably need to I think we need Yang to be here too as well, because he actually has some comments there. So I think the question is, do we want to I think for the backport part, I think we're maybe fine. I think he brought up something about the Kubernetes version release, Kubernetes version support. And then I think now the question is, do we want to, that's actually Chris' original request, right, to backport, but then do we want to allow an exception to create a new minor version on the previous major version? I guess that's the thing. So I think we should still talk about that. And then if we allow that, then what are the criteria for that?
Yeah.
So that's, we need to, I think we need to continue to talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Maybe let's, I'll ping Jan offline and see if we can find a time where all of us are here so we can discuss this.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Any other topics that anyone wants to discuss?
Just a heads up, the blog post that I prepared for generic ephemeral volumes and storage capacity tracking, that is ready for review. Xing already looked at it. I made changes to it today, and the URL that I just posted has the latest version, which I think is now in a state where it could be merged, pending further review comments, of course. We had, now that you're looking at the dashboard, we had an issue with the host path driver. The latest release that I prepared enabled the CSI ephemeral volume test, which wasn't the case earlier, but I forgot to bump the image version. And therefore the test ran against the buggy version of the driver, and that failed. But with Jan today, I prepared a new release, which just bumps the YAML files. It does have a new version number because that's how we do releases, but that should be done now and should get those CI tests to become cleaner.
Awesome. Great, thank you. All right. Any other topics? All right, then we'll end for today. Go ahead.
Actually, I do. Yeah, I was wondering whether I should bring it up. My colleague has been working on the host path driver to enable it as a full replacement of the current mock driver image. And he got that working locally. So if there are no objections, I would proceed with merging his PRs for the host path driver.
Okay.
And then
that will be in the existing host path driver. It's just
in
with
the
some
existing host path driver. Well, basically, we are looking at features that the mock driver had and that were missing in the host path driver, and we move those over. Specifically, that was the proxy support that I recently added to the mock driver, JSON call output, and I think the optional attach. So these three features get added to the host path driver, and I think he has one more PR coming, and then it is a full replacement for the current mock driver in CSI test. So yeah, the plan now is to do another CSI host path driver release so that we get a tagged image, and then with that image, update core Kubernetes, the E2E tests in Kubernetes, so that they don't need the mock driver image anymore. And then the very next step, or the step after that, it would be to update CSI test to remove the mock driver there, because it's just not needed anymore.
All right, sounds good to me. Awesome, thank you very much. Any other topics? All right, then we're on for today. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.